All right, welcome back to another edition of Neo News Network. It's great to be here. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to jump right into it. There's something that's been trending. People are asking different AIs, is New York City a PsyOp? So far be it from me to not jump onto any trend. Latest trend, I went ahead and asked ChatGPT, is New York City a PSYOP? And here is what she had to say.
That depends on how you're defining PSYOP. If you mean in the literal military or intelligence sense, an operation designed to manipulate public perception, then no, NYC isn't a coordinated psychological operation. But if you're talking about the way the city is marketed, mythologized, and politically controlled, you could argue that aspects of it function like one. NYC is often sold as the greatest city in the world, a place where anyone can make it if they work hard enough. While that's true for some, it also masks the reality of high crime, extreme wealth inequality, and political corruption. The media, corporate interests, and cultural elites help craft a specific narrative about NYC that doesn't always match the lived experience of many residents. So, in that sense, one could argue that the idea of NYC is a kind of psyop, designed to attract talent, money, and influence while downplaying the negatives.
All right. So hopefully you guys can hear that. I have never used the phone right into the mic like that. So I guess we'll soon find out. But putting aside the issue of extreme wealth inequality, because I think that's a real red herring, basically because someone else is rich doesn't mean you feel bad because you have less money. If you have plenty of money, like in other words, if you're a guy who makes $500,000 a year, but you hang out with billionaires, that's still pretty good. And if you're a guy who makes $10 a year and you're hanging out with people that also make $10 a year, there's perfect wealth equality, but you all are all doing bad. So anyway, putting that aside, let's just stay on topic, Neil, shall we? So is New York City a PSYOP? I'll just start off saying yes. It totally sounds true. I used to love New York, but it really has changed. So, but yeah, I do feel like I was kind of sold a bill of goods. So yeah, it is true, in my opinion. And if my job that I love wasn't in Manhattan, I would leave this place in a second. I mean, first of all, not even counting the weather, the quality of life in Texas, Florida, and a lot of other blue states is 1,000 times higher. I would bet quality of life in every blue state is higher than it is here in New York City. Plus, outside of New York City, people are nicer. People have better values. People look out for each other. People don't tolerate endless crime in blue states. And also in blue states, terms like straight white male are simply descriptors, not pejoratives. Oh, yeah. And the legal system in blue states, generally speaking, goes after criminals, unlike New York City's legal system that's primarily used to punish decent and law-abiding people. Just one small example from my life. I got a ticket the other day. I went through a red light, no cars around, but I went through a red light on my bicycle. Whoop, whoop. I get a ticket. I'm law-abiding. I pay it, $168 for going through a red light with no one's around on a bicycle. Meanwhile, every week here, there's protests and whether it's BLM or pro-Palestine, whatever, these guys and gals, they will shut down entire avenues. They will shut down the Brooklyn Bridge, but they don't get a ticket. But meanwhile, me in the bike lane doing my little bicycle gets a $168 ticket. So, yeah, the system is primarily used, like it's used very strongly against the law-abiding narco tyranny, and it's basically ignored in the case of actual criminals. So also, that aside, not even counting tickets, blue states don't overtax, they don't overregulate, nor do they waste the taxpayers' money on things like luxury hotels for illegal aliens and illegal alien criminals. I don't have kids here in New York City schools, but the New York City education system is centered on things like trans acceptance, sexualized drag shows for children, and other social justice programs. Meanwhile, the kids can't even read. And just one final thing, because people will yell, oh, bigot, bigot. I don't care if you're a grown man and you want to wear a dress. Who cares? Do whatever you want. Call yourself a woman, chicken, a turtle, a furry. But just please keep that stuff away from the kids. Anyway, that's the regular school, I guess, through high school. Now, if you get to higher education in New York City, the primary focus of that in New York seems to be hating Jews. That's what they like to focus on, hating Jews and supporting terrorist groups as opposed to teaching anything. Also, unlike New York City, whether it be in school or just publicly, there's very little, basically constitutional rights are upheld in blue states is what I'm trying to say, which is not the case here in New York City. So yeah, if I didn't have to, why would I live here? Why would anyone live in the smelly, crime-infested, high-tax, liberal hellhole called New York City? So yeah, so PsyOp seems like the best explanation I've seen thus far. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. But if anyone has a good reason besides PsyOp, other than family or work reasons like I have, anyone has a reason why they're willing to be here other than because it's a PsyOp, I'm curious to know what it is. Please leave your comments. Well, leave them in the comments. Also, like and subscribe. That always helps with my channel. Thanks for listening. And this is Neil News Network. Good day.